Shall we talk then about episode titles and predictions? Because I've made a couple of predictions. I've tried to make one for each episode, and I've made two overall. So I want to run them past you, and if you have any, feel free to throw them in. Whoever gets the most wins.
Yeah, it's fine.
£50 from the other one. I'm keeping you up. You're not going to start crying again.
I'm going to hit you. I've had a long day.
Threat of violence there on camera for everyone to see.
Tell me what you're on about.
So yeah, if we just run through these then, because obviously we don't want to sit here and go, oh, this could be this and this shot means this, because that's, it's boring.
Yeah.
And we don't know anything other than the trailers and sort of bare bits and pieces we've seen online. But first episode, Space Babies, written by RTD. I forgot who's directed. I forgot to write those down. And this one, I feel like is going to be, my prediction for this is going to be an outright comedic episode.
Yeah, I've gone with the same, to be honest.
You can't steal my predictions.
I
That's
wasn't
not a
stealing your
competition.
predictions, it's fine. I reckon it's going to be a comedy one to establish the start of the series, like to re-establish the characters going forward for the series.
Yeah, very much like a partners in crime type
Yeah,
thing of,
something fun,
light-hearted.
plot light.
Yeah. Because, and I think with the Space Babies, you can't really play that straight, really, because it was going to come across, the whole point is going, my God, what was this?
Yeah.
And so I think to embrace that is the best thing that they can do to go forward in terms of keeping people on side with it and not going, well, what are they doing here? If you play that straight, it will come off stupid. But if you have something like that, we have that creature that we saw in the preview from Unleashed at Christmas, and that's very cool looking. A lot of people nicknamed it the sort of the bogeyman because, kids, bogeymen, it's that sort of thing. And what we could be looking at is something along the lines of what if these are like a gang of babies, and they're all like, well, hey, the bogeyman down there, doctor, go sort that out.
Yeah. You get to hear the baby talking as well. It goes, oh, it's you.
Very good impression.
Thank you.
Yeah, so do they know the doctor, or are they expecting him, or is it they just expecting someone to come and help them fight the alien on the ship?
I reckon they know him somehow.
Yeah.
He has to work out how.
Could be. Or it could just be, we just don't know. That's the whole point of predictions, isn't it?
Yes.
So episode 2 then, also written by Russell T Davies, called The Devil's Cord. We knew this title for a while. That was the first one that they sort of announced a couple of weeks in advance, I think, one of the magazines, I think. And this is very 60s. It's Beatles, it's Jinx Monsoon in some sort of role as it. And I'm going to take my prediction here. It's a very obvious one, because we've all been saying it for a while, but I think this is going to be a musical.
Yes, it kind of has to be. There is no alternative for this one. If it's not a musical, I will be sad.
Yeah, I think with TV shows and musical episodes, I have a strange sort of relationship with them. I think if there's an universe explanation for it happening, then that's fine. But some shows will just do it where characters just start bursting in song. There's no reason, they just do it as like an episode. And it's like I don't buy into it.
Yeah.
Whereas like something like Buffy, where it's a demon that is using the power of song and dance to kill people. And with this Jinx Monsoon's character, they're playing this, I think we can assume is some sort of alien, and is using the power of song and dance and whatever is like sort of a sci-fi concept and things. And we've seen from the Christmas special that, Millie Gibson and Ncuti Gatwa can hold a note pretty well.
Yeah.
I think it would be a shame to waste that. And from there's some shots in the trailer, sort of like an all singing, all dancing number at the end. I think we even see the Doctor singing at one point with a microphone.
Yeah, he's definitely doing something on stage.
I think it would be, and it's like, I've said it before, it's like the one thing that Doctor Who hasn't done that it can feasibly do in the last 60 years. I think the only thing it's done that's full on slasher horror movie that it'll never do.
Yeah.
We've done sort of comedy, we've done dark, we've done high concept science fiction, we've done, silly fantasy, we've done just day-to-day human life, but we haven't had musical stuff yet.
No.
And I think that's the one thing that it hasn't done, so why not do it now? And I think it's a good showcase to go, look, these are the kind of things that you can do with a show like Doctor Who. All right, you can't do it every week, but every once in a while you can just go balls to the wall and just do something completely different.
Let them have some fun as well, innit?
Yeah.
Ncuti obviously loves this sort of thing as well. Given his background in theatre, and it was fun at Christmas. It made perfect sense. It fit the role. It fit the episode really well.
Yeah, I mean, he can't be breaking into song every time he's trying to defeat a villain, but within the context of that, and there had just been a song that they'd interrupted, it's a good way of diffusing them, sort of going, oh, what's he doing? And then next thing you know, he's made a getaway.
Plus, they got the Beatles in it.
Yeah.
If they don't have a song, I guarantee you the
Cardiff as
musical
well.
is going to be a Beatles song as well.
I mean, it could be. It could be something to do with that, sort of time's gone wrong. We need to save the music of the Beatles or something, or it's being used against them or whatever. But either way, I think we could see some bangers in this. To be fair,
Yeah. And then we go on to Boom! Sorry.
written by Scottish man Stephen Moffat.
Yes. You get this, like, in the trailer, you've got that bleak, destroyed Earth. All life is just gone, destroyed.
It's very barren.
Yeah, I feel that is heavily involved in Boom, and I think this is going to be the Doctor's first of the darker episodes.
I think you may be right there. To be fair,
I just there's not, like, you see the Doctor going, "Oh, this is what we're trying to prevent," and stuff in the trailer. I just get a really dark feel from this one. It'll be interesting to see who the big bad is on it.
yeah.
I just hope it doesn't get as preachy as Orphan 55.
Yeah, I mean, that line that we see in the trailer about, I will shatter this silly little battlefield, that's such a Moffat line, and I think that's quite obviously from this episode because it's to do with the landmine that he stood on. A lot of people have theorised that it's going to be basically sort of the Doctor on a landmine for an hour and him trying to get out of a situation like that, which is an interesting way of doing it for sure. I didn't really go any plot predictions for this. I just put down that this will be the episode where Ncuti Gatwa just clicks into place for me.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying him in the role. It's just, there's something that just hasn't, it's like 90% of the way there,
Yeah.
and it's just something I'm just waiting for that moment. And I think, judging from the sort of, the way that this episode looks so far, and the sort of things that people have been talking about, like this could be happening, this could be, yeah, that's the sort of thing where it's like this could make or break the 15th Doctor. That's the kind of material that you need to give someone within the first couple of episodes to really let them go, yeah, bash, nailed it. I might say bosh, but we'll go with it.
Yeah. What we've had from Ncuti so far has been light-hearted and quite plot-light as well. Like, he's been allowed to have a lot of fun with the character, which is good. Like, it helps him establish himself as a Doctor, makes him likable. So when it gets to the darker stuff, it's not like it's a bit more powerful,
Yeah.
I'd say. But yeah, I know where you're coming from. Each Doctor needs that darker episode to really solidify them.
Yeah, even when, they have established themselves, you need to see that range in full. Things that spring to mind are things like, the scene in School Reunion where the Doctor's talking to Rose outside the cafe. That's quite, it's not, all right, it's not dark as in like they're all going to die, but it's a heavy scene. It's, I think of Matt Smith in like the cliffhanger to Time of Angels and stuff like that. I think of Eccleston in, well,
Anything.
basically anything, yeah. But you need to be able to have that scenes to show off the Doctor in the light-hearted and the comedy and the banter and stuff, but then also to go, look, this is serious shit we're dealing with here. That was going to go somewhere, that sentence, but I lost it. I think it's gone 73 yards away.
Oh, wow. Guys. Here we go. Spooky Wookie, I'm guessing.
I put down a similar thing. I said that this is going to be Doctor Light and spooky, and I think it's the idea of that something's stalking Ruby and the Doctor's gone, and because there's a few scenes in the trailer where there's just someone stood in the distance. We've seen that in a couple of the trailers now, and we know that there's, like, Millie Gibson did a significant amount of filming before Ncuti Gatwa did because he was busy finishing off Sex Education and the Barbie press
film,
stuff.
yeah.
So it would make sense to give, to do a Dr. Light episode. And especially in the vein that, having the companion there, it's a good chance of Millie Gibson as well to shine as Ruby. And I think it's just going to be very sort of creepy, atmospheric. I think it's really going to put Ruby into the spotlight.
Yeah, that's interesting. I haven't gone for that as my Dr. Light episode. For me, that's a little bit further down. Yeah, as I said, I just got Spooky Wookie in my notes.
It's a technical term.
Technical term, yes. We're very technical here with Spooky Wookie and Timey Wimey. I just think it's going to be one of the more jump scary episodes of the series.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by these middle two, to be fair, because for episode 5, it's got a very, which is called Dot and Bubble. It's got a very, we haven't seen much about it to be fair. We've only got a couple of shots from the trailer and stuff from the title. And interesting that it's going to be the design of it feels very retro, but I don't think it's going to be like a historical. I think it's sort of either an alien or like an alternative time, and I think it's going to be a bit of a commentary on like technology.
Yes, I agree. I put preachy stuff about social media.
Yeah.
But with Russell at the helm, it's going to be subtle, not like Chibnall.
It doesn't even have to be subtle. It just has to be,
impactful.
done well.
Yeah. But yeah, I reckon it's going to be very much talking about the bubble of social media. Everyone being engrossed in.
Yeah, and we even see that sort of
stuff.
town under a bubble, which a lot of people have associated with this episode.
Yes.
And the slug things that were in Swansea Uni. Not Sam.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, the scum.
Again,
sorry.
not Sam.
We
Hi, Sam.
love you, Sam. We really do.
He's not watching this.
No.
Episode 6 then, Rogue, the only episode of the season not written by a showrunner.
Yes.
And it's the first episode since The Haunting of Villa Diodati to be not written or co-written by a showrunner of Doctor Who. Interestingly, Kate Herron did a great job showrunning the first series of Loki. I'm not too familiar with Bryony Redman. I think that's her name. Apologies if it's not. And this one is all Regency era. It's a bit of a period piece. Some big guest stars in there with Indira Varma, who's in everything, and Jonathan Groff. Now, a lot of people have been subscribing to this odd theory that Jonathan Groff is playing a recast Captain Jack.
Yeah, I don't see that. I do see a Doctor and Jonathan Groff snog.
That's what my prediction was. I said Jonathan Groff is not Captain Jack, but we'll see the first gay kiss for the Doctor, because there's clearly a bit of tension in there, with the dancing where he's got a gun. I don't think it's Jack. It doesn't make any sense for it to be Jack. Why would Jack have a completely different? I mean, I know we get some, but even the Face of Bo stuff is still like sort of.
Could be a young Jack.
Well, yeah, people have said that, but I just don't see it. Like, fair enough, there's the whole issues around John Barham and everything. Not getting into that here, but surely you just retire the character. If you want him to be like a time agent or another
they've done
alien.
his story.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
They wrapped that up in the end of series 3.
4,
4.
5,
Was it 4?
6, 7, 8. I don't know.
No, it was series 3 they wrapped it
Yeah.
up.
Well, that's the thing. We've got that there, and we don't. If you're gonna have Jack back, it would feel weird to not have John Barham. And not that I'm saying that John Barham bring him back and everything.
No, I know what you mean.
But
the character is synonymous with the actor.
yeah, I think people have just looked at similarities, going, there's a similar look about them. They're both American. They both got backgrounds in musical theatre. I'm talking about the actors here now.
Yeah.
It's like, but
you wouldn't. The Doctor is not American.
Yeah, you wouldn't cast you wouldn't go for someone with the same exact, well, not the exact same, but a similar background if you're going to recast. I mean, I don't see it as a recast. If I'm wrong, I'll do a forfeit. I'll let him choose.
That's dangerous.
Within reason. Within reason.
Yeah, but
I'm not shaving my head. Again.
Damn it. Get
I'll
photos
do
of you.
I'll do a shot or something. How rude. But yeah, I think this isn't Captain Jack. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
I hope you aren't wrong.
I think there is a tension, definitely.
There is
between
something
them.
there.
And I think, it could be a kind of thing of... bang your watch on the table. It could be a thing of, enemies to friends or whatever.
Yeah. Watch this be the driving wedge between Ruby and the Doctor, because Ruby gets the hots for him too.
Yeah, she's mentioned Bridgerton a lot in there as well,
Yes.
which is exactly the sort of vibe it's going for, that Regency era.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this, everyone's just dancing and arguing and talking and dancing and arguing. That's Bridgerton for you. I've seen all of it. And that brings us on into the final 2 episodes.
Yes, so the first of the final 2 would be The Legend of Ruby Sunday. I have gone for this being the Doctor Light episode. Seeing as it seems to be focused around Ruby at different stages, I guess, of all of it. And I reckon we get Mrs. Flood reveal.
Ooh, interesting.
Who she is, whether it be Ruby's legit mother, the Rani.
Josh.
Yeah. It could be the Mara, for God knows.
That's one villain I would like to see come back.
Yeah, especially now Disney have the budget for it. Do it!
Do a big snake.
Do it. But carefully. Carefully do a big snake. Jesus Christ. that one.
God, I remember the days we used to do this with like seriousness and authentic.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm lying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I think very Dr. Light. I focused on Ruby all the way through. Lots of twists and turns. Mrs. Flood reveal. And that leads into the final episode if she is like it could be Mrs. Flood is the overall big bad.
See, I've gone for an alternative for that. My theory is that it's Mrs. Merridew. It's the or whoever Mrs. Merridew is. You know, the housekeeper from Wild Beyond, who then shows up at Ruby's gig. It's the same actress. I think she's got something to do with this like triad technology that's been thrown around a lot. This sort of technology organisation that was mentioned in the Giggle. I think we saw advertised in Church on Ruby Road. I think it's something to do with that. I don't know what, but that's just my prediction that she's the sort of big bad for the end of the series, and it's behind the reason why things have been going supernatural and weird. You know, sort of legions of the Toymakers. We know it's to do with the Doctor doing the salt in Wild Beyonder, but I think she's sort of like the second in command, essentially, of these legions of the Toymaker.
Yeah.
And she's now come to power following the defeat of the Toymaker in the Giggle.
Yes.
That's my. I haven't got anything plot wise for the finale because my one for episode 8, because I don't know if this is a two-parter or not. I assume it would be, but we could be wrong. There's nothing really. Empire of Death is what it's called. That's a proper Doctor Who title, isn't it?
Yes.
Empire of Death, and mine is just my prediction of this will be basically the unofficial backdoor pilot for a unit spin-off.
Yeah, I've got in mind it's set up for spin-offs, teaser Christmas special.
Yeah.
Just something to set the show up going forward from this point.
We know that we've got Kate back. We know we've got Mel back. Shirley's back. Colonel Ibrahim. We've got Rose Temple Noble. Lenny Rush's character seems to be working for UNIT in some capacity. There's sort of blocks in place there, and UNIT definitely have a presence now with a big new Stark Tower and everything. And yeah, I think it will be something around then we'll get some sort of information if it's happening. It could just be a rumour. You know, we still don't actually have any confirmation of it. So that's 8 episodes worth of predictions then. I have 2 more for the season as a whole.
Yeah.
My first one is that Mrs. Flood won't be completely revealed at all this year. We might get a few hints and pieces and a few more blocks, but I
Definitely
think
showing up again at least.
she'll be showing up again, and I think we will get some hints, but I don't think it will be a case of this is everything. I think it'll be cards across your chest. I think it'll go into series 2. I think it's also got something to do with the changes that the Doctor made in the Christmas special. Because if you look at Mrs. Flood, because I rewatched it the other day, Mrs. Flood appears to be quite normal and everything until the Doctor has done that thing with Ruby being taken out of time and him going back and fixing it. Then all of a sudden she's like, you ever seen a TARDIS before? Like, why was she not reacting to it that way? Like, she reacts in shock, which could be linked to it. But my theory is that something's happened there where she's had her timeline change as well and becomes more aware of the Doctor and the TARDIS and all that shenanigans. But we still don't know exactly if she's friend or foe or whatever yet.
Oh, that is interesting. That's genuinely interesting. I think that her reveal is going to be in Legend of Ruby Sunday, and it's going to have something to do with Ruby, be it for good or bad. But for me, I feel this is going to be possibly the best season in a long while.
He's feeling positive. I like
Overall, I am feeling positive that both trailers actually filled me with a lot of positivity and happiness for this.
I'm so glad you said that.
It's good. Yeah, it seems like it's gonna be packed with loads and loads of fun, and yeah, I got nothing but good things to say about my prediction for my first prediction for the series as a whole. Yeah,
being silly now, aren't we? Yeah, that's fair. My other one is that this is more of like an overall thing as well, is that Ruby will go on to be the best companion in a very long time. There's something about Millie Gibson's portrayal of her in the trailers where she just feels like more of a natural character. Because one of my big complaints with Chinler is that the characters of the companions aren't fleshed out and developed anywhere near enough.
No,
as
they're
they should have
very
been.
wooden.
Yeah, you know, there's not enough time for them. I don't feel like even now I don't really feel like I know them that well.
No,
Yaz a bit more because she was there longer.
But like with the whole thing with Ryan in Orphan 55, you'd feel a lot more for him in that.
Yeah.
If his character had been fleshed out.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the episode as a whole is a big part of Pish, but
fact.
Yeah, like you'd feel a bit better knowing Ryan's backstory a bit more.
Yeah. Ow! I'm putting this away now. Try to do a YouTube video and we get distracted by elastic bands. Like, well,
Yes, we are children.
Yeah, there's just like I just feel like she's already more well-rounded. We know a lot about her. We know what sort of her motivations and stuff. But just the way she is in that trailer, she comes across well. Is like she's fun, she's a bit sparky, but then can do the quite serious stuff. And I think that's why the Doctor Light episode will do some good.
Yeah, for me, my last one will be Ruby having the main part in the series as a whole, not like the Doctor's like the main part, but like in the underlying story that Russell likes to do with his series and have just the same have one constant threat throughout all the episodes. I reckon everything's going to be linked to her. In fairness, it seems to be going that way with the focus on Ruby in the trailer as much as it as being more considerably more than the Doctor. You get the stuff with the Doctor in there, but it obviously does seem more Ruby focused for me, and I feel she's going to have such a big part to play especially in the finale where she saves Le Doctor from death.
Ah, well there we are then. 10 predictions. Well, sort of crossover a little bit, but let us know if you've got any. Let us know what you're excited about. Let us know what you're not looking forward to. Any thoughts about the upcoming series, let us know, because we're probably not going to get much more in the way of news now until we get to it. So we'll be back to our usual schedule of classic series, new series reviews, Big Finish, and things like that.
Random discussions.
Yeah, if you enjoyed that, you know what to do.
Hit that like button, please.
Please.
And subscribe.
Yeah, it gets very sad if you don't subscribe.
I do. I do. That's why I've been crying in the last few videos. No, it's not.
That's why I've been crying myself to sleep. Bye.
Oh wow.
Say bye.
Bye.